Quando I bambini fanno oh, c'è un topolino. Mentre I bambini fanno oh, c'è un cagnolino. Se c'è una cosa che ora so.
There are many things that come to mind when I think of La Piccola Scuola Italiana, and what comes to mind is just how warm and inviting a place it is for children and for adults. I moved here after several years in New York, and when I came here, shortly thereafter got pregnant and didn't really know anybody. And then when Ernesto was just a mere 10 months, I happened upon La Piccola Scuola Italiana, and it has made our life in San Francisco much more enriched and much more complete. And it's turned this city from just a city to a home.
Noi siamo la loro casa fuori casa. Cerchiamo veramente di conoscerli per quelli che sono, per i loro interessi, punti di forza. Ciaschi ha appena avuto una sorellina, quindi sta attraversando chiaramente un momento un po' difficile e spesso desidera avere più affetto, più coccole del normale. Quindi viene e chiede un abbraccio, un aiuto, un momento di scherzo per sentirsi vicino a noi.
Sulla lingua.
I grew up in Modena, which is 10 miles from Reggio Emilia, so all the schools in Emilia-Romagna are Reggio Emilia approach, you would say. But until I came to this country, I never heard of Reggio Emilia approach. I just heard of, Emilia-Romagna's got good schools, and it's not called an approach or whatever. It's, people have been doing this for like 50 years, since the end of the war. So we say that, we are like a Reggio Emilia inspired school, and I think it comes natural to us because we are Italians, and this is the way we do childcare. But I think what's different about Reggio Emilia is that the focus is on the child, and we pretty much take the lead from the child. And this doesn't mean that we don't, facilitate or we don't plan for things to be around, but we just want to see this particular group of children, what are they interested in. Like this happened a couple of weeks ago, one child decided they wanted to build a table. And so, Paola, our teacher, says, how are you going to make a table? We only have paper here. And so this is something that will take the entire afternoon. You have all the kids talking to each other, so social skills are developed. And, they try and put pieces of paper up straight like this, and of course, fall down, they can't put them together. Then they start looking at the legs of the table, they go under the table and they check it out. They say, oh, look, the table is like a circle, it's like a cylinder. And then finally, one child says, I've got it, I'm gonna roll up the piece of paper. And I know you could easily tell them to do it and they would do it in 3 minutes, but then what did they learn? So they figure it out and eventually they put it up. Some kids decided to stick it with tape, some kids went the extra step and they started to rip the paper so that they could stick it with glue. And there you go, at the end of the day you have a table, and then maybe, a parent might come and says, oh, whatever, is this all they did today? But this is when you can explain to them, well, no, they did it. We didn't just give them the materials, told them how to do it. And they have learned something. They learn science, they learn social skills, they learn, it's in 3 dimensions, they learn physics and geometry. So this is kind of what we try to do here.
E l'ha fatto tutto lei senza che dicessimo niente, che questa è anche molto la filosofia della scuola, quello di seguire, di lasciare che i bimbi scoprano da soli, senza che noi, l'idea di non insegnare ai bambini, di lasciare che scoprano e risolvano i problemi, problem solving, non so come dire. Ed è incredibile come senza programmare niente, semplicemente ascoltandoli e seguendoli siamo riusciti a fare questo. Sono molto contenta.
Well, I think the most obvious thing, of course, about Jack having gone to La Piccola Scuola is that he's speaking Italian. And that's fabulous. That's a joy that we get to share speaking Italian together. We can be out in public and we can, we can talk about things privately. We can make jokes. The other day I don't know where we were, but we were out in public, and he said to me, ma papà, ma chi ha fatto una puzza? This summer I'll be taking Jack to Italy for the first time, And it's going to be a very, very special trip, not only because it's his first trip to Italy and the first time for him to be in a culture where everyone is speaking Italian, but also because we'll be meeting my father, who will have been there 2 months before us studying Italian. He's realizing a lifelong dream now at 76 years old to study Italian, to learn Italian. He grew up in an Italian neighborhood in Chicago with parents, grandparents, aunts and uncles, everybody around him speaking Italian, but he was really discouraged from speaking Italian because he was supposed to assimilate. But now he's going to go back to Italy and learn to actually speak. And so now we'll have 3 generations of our family together in Italy, all speaking Italian together, which I think will be a fantastic thing for myself, and I know it'll be a real highlight for my father.
Everything that the school stands for, everything we're doing, everything that we're working towards, which is a bilingual, bicultural education for kids, which in its real context goes well above and beyond the specific language and the specific culture. It simply gives kids the tools to understand that there are more than one culture, that there is more than one culture, that there's more than one language, and that all of them have value and they can all be used interchangeably. That, just coming at the world with that perspective, that enables them to be citizens of that new flat economy, that new world economy, that flattened world, and be successful in it.
I mean, I think there are a lot of people who are very drawn to the idea of sending their child to an Italian school where they have these amazing organic Italian meals and they're part of this wonderful community. I'm sure there are a lot of preschools out there that have a sense of community. In fact, Michela goes to another preschool, and it's a wonderful preschool, but it doesn't have nearly the sense of parent involvement. For me, the school has been much more than just a school for my children. It's been a community that my husband and I have entered into and we have become an integral part of. When I first brought Michela to La Piccola Scuola Italiana, I didn't think that I was going to be helping to manage the program. That wasn't what I intended to do when we entered as so I think if I have to say, what would I look back on 5-10 years from now, and I'm hoping that we'll even have the opportunity to remain a community and that our programs will grow into K through 8. But if not, I mean, I think that the community that LPSI has built around it and the friends that we've made and that our children have made is going to be the lasting memory.
One of the things you'll find if you come to the school is a tremendous sense of teamwork. Everybody there is excited to be there. Everybody wants to help out. Pulling together the fundraisers is never that particularly difficult because everybody chimes in, does the job, helps out. When the classes switch, the parents come to pick up their children, and then they stay a half an hour to chat with their friends. There's too many people at the school for about a half an hour. Nothing can get done. It's very Italian. There's a lot of screaming, hollering, yelling, and people trying to get things done at the same time. This community, as opposed to drop off the kid, pick up the kid, no interaction, back into your Beamer or whatever it is, and off you go.
Quando I bambini fanno oh, c'è un topolino. Mentre I bambini fanno oh, c'è un cagnolino. Se c'è una cosa che ora so, ma che mai più io rivedrò, è un lupo nero che dà un bacino.